Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So let's just breathe for a moment. It's been a nutty morning, slightly nutty, slightly. Hold on, guys. I just need to copy and paste this. All right. Yeah, let's totally just breathe for a moment. Let's totally just breathe for a moment. The crazy energy of today has been ridiculously crazy. And it's been a good day. How's everyone doing? Okay. Almost done, you guys. Okay. I just got to take a deep breath. It's been such a nutty morning. Okay. There goes. All right. So I asked what this reading was going to be about, and what I heard is you are in control. Okay. There's a lot of things going on, probably in your personal life, also probably in the world around you at large. And it might be this thing of like, feeling as though you don't have a say, you can't do anything, everything's kind of just happening to you rather than with you and for you. And I don't blame you for having that type of perception, but there's certain factors that I think all of us need to kind of be aware of, right? Hopefully this reading is going to be a much more positive one. Hopefully this is going to be the kind of reading where you're going to walk away feeling so ridiculously empowered and just feeling like you can conquer the world because you can do it. I believe in you. I believe in you. By the way, guys, today is the 20th and I'm going to be having a 12/21 portal. Okay. If you would like to purchase an expedited request for that portal date tomorrow, I'm going to have a fire ceremony. Simply go to the link that I just commented. I'll put it up on the screen. emmyevolving.com/shop/12/21 portal. And you'll be able to see all the different offerings on my website and see what would benefit you the most. So this is an amazing period that we're entering into. I'm choosing to see it that way because that's kind of the energy that I'm receiving right now. I'm feeling like with the amazingness, there's also going to be a lot of challenges. There's going to be a lot of opportunities for us to kind of, feel maybe a little bit of some kind of way because there's things that are happening that we have been struggling to accept, right? These might be things that involve other people. This might be things that pertain to cycles that you've been living through for the past maybe several months, maybe several years. We don't really know. Well, I think you know, but I don't. I don't need to know until I need to know. So let's see. Let's see where this is going to go. This is ooh. I was told to look at that bottom card. I'm not going to look at any other cards because, uh-oh. Well, okay. Well, that fell out. So, okay, let me shuffle this properly. Oh my gosh, another card fell out. Woo! A lot of attempts. You're going to be able to negate these attempts. Maybe I can kind of teach you guys how to do that before we get off of this live stream. So these first three cards are cards that fell out. Okay, so it's like these cards are telling me you can't do this reading without this. So the first one was the Oraphim. Okay, invoke the Oraphim. So what this card falling out of the deck is telling me is that you need to call in your protection. You need to call in your ancestors. You need to call in your guardians, your guides, all of that. now is not the time for you to push away the very beings and people that have basically vowed to be a part of your spiritual team. Okay. So this can be energetic beings. This can be people who are your friends, people who are not related to you, but have become family for you. This can be so many different ways that this is expressed in your life. Whatever way it's expressed, let them help. Okay. Whatever needs to be helped, you need to allow that help. So the Orifim calling in all of your protection, calling back all of your energy, really allowing yourself to begin receiving the support that you need right now. Okay. The trap in reverse. So there was some type of situation that was placed in front of you. And I'm assuming the original intention of that situation was to trap you into a circumstance that would further fractionate your sense of self, a situation that would cause you to question who you are, where you are within your journey, what you're supposed to do, your capacity to make healthy decisions for yourself. Really just allowing yourself to exist as a sovereign, right? These are things that would challenge your ability to exist as a sovereign. Well, that backfired. It didn't work. It didn't work because the trap is upside down. It didn't trap you. Either you avoided it completely, or it's this sense that you kind of like you were about to walk past that threshold, but then there was this part of you that's like, you know what? Um, I don't know about this. And then you took a step back and then they couldn't do whatever they were going to do, right? Again, this could just be a situation that you avoided. This can be from some type of connection that you were building with someone. I consider that a message of confirmation that you dodged a bullet. You dodged a 50 cal. You know how big a 50 cal is? It's like, it's huge. I don't know. Maybe for some of us, we dodge like a 223, 556, 223. Those are about this big. 50 cal is like this big. So we dodge something, 223 could do a lot of damage. I'm just saying. For others, you probably dodge like a 9 mil. Okay, let me stop. Let me stop. As long as it's not a 45, because those hurt my wrists, I'm good. I'm good. Okay, let's keep going. Let's see. For those who don't know what the hell I was talking about, I was talking about bullet calibers. I'm just saying. All right, so, okay. That looks good, though. That looks good. Okay. So, there was something that was plotting and planning for spring to be upside down for you. They were trying to do this by causing you to feel very unbalanced, very much incapable, very hindered, unsupported, all of these like negative type feelings, emotions, perceptions, expectations, right? That was what they were trying to do to get to this space of upside down spring. So these are plans that probably have been in the works for some time now. And they were going to probably, this metaphoric they were probably going to try and crank things up a little bit more, just to really further destabilize you between now and springtime, right? So springtime is usually what, like March, April, something like that. That's around when it starts. I noticed this. I don't know that I've ever noticed that before. It looks like maybe a crow on the shadow side. I wonder if part of what this is there was someone that maybe you were listening to for some type of guidance or advice that could possibly be kind of luring you with a promise of knowledge. Ooh! Oh, mm-hmm. I know who that is for me. Oh, I know who that is for me. I'm telling you, I'm such a sucker for knowledge. It's disgusting. I'm gluttonous in my pursuit of knowledge. That's what it is. That is what it is. Okay. So carrying forward, um, be aware be aware that again it's the same message of not everyone that presents themselves as having your best interest at heart actually has your best interest at heart. For some people they say that because having your best interest at heart is a benefit to them, so it's not really genuine love and concern for you. It's more like, how can I cultivate something with you to show the benefits of having me around so that with me being around you, I can benefit off of you. Now, I believe in mutually beneficial connections, right? I absolutely believe in that. I believe that if I'm going to be receiving help from you in some way, that I should find a way to also help you. So it's mutually beneficial. I don't, however, believe in intentionally fixating on someone because you want to benefit off of them, and that what you're offering is not a genuine offer. It's something that is going to simply get your foot in the door. That's sneaky. That type of tactic is very, very sneaky. Okay. So if you're going to help someone, help someone. If you believe in their goodness and that's why you want to help them, then beautiful. But don't say you believe in their goodness and that's why you want to help them because, once you're in, then you can get what you want. That's not that's manipulative. Okay? So it seems like this might be something that is what's happening, potentially, right? Um it could be something where uh friendship is being offered because maybe you're lonely, and in reality they're not interested in being a friend. They're interested in having the benefit. Now you have to be careful though, because if you're the type of person that already has this mindset because you don't trust people, I'm not saying your struggles with trust is the issue. I don't think like you have trust issues. I think that you've learned the hard way that many people are not trustworthy, and you're giving them the opportunity to show you through in real life experiences whether they're trustworthy for you or not. Okay. I've learned that myself. I don't have a trust issue. I have a very robust learning curve. And not everyone deserves my trust. People need to have the opportunity to interact with me while I observe so that I can determine for myself whether they are worthy of my trust or not. Okay. So it seems as though this is someone who's trying to gain your trust for something. I don't think that's going to work because now I'm busting out their story. Yeah, I don't even feel bad. I'm just like, no, no, you're not doing this to my people. I don't think so. I don't think so. Um, I think what's going to happen is you're going to realize that you did not bring this to you, that this was something that was brought to you by your soul in order to become very, very clear on how much of this you've actually already learned, because this is not a new cycle. You thought I didn't know. This is not a new cycle. This is a type of cycle you keep cycling through. And it's not that you're not learning it, it's more that every time it cycles through, you're learning another level, another layer, another nuanced component of this whole lesson. Okay. So I think you're getting to the home stretch where you're really beginning to understand how you function, why you function the way you do, how to allow yourself to function in that space as you are without it becoming something that's detrimental for you, without it becoming something that is hindering you, blocking you from receiving the help you need. Okay. So that's a very important thing. There's a project I'm feeling that is being initiated, right? Spirit has initiated some type of project. And whatever this project is, it will come to fruition. You're building the foundation right now, and the foundation is where you are. You are your own homeland within you, in your core, your center space. That's your homeland. Okay. Back here is where you connect with your higher self, not up here, back here. This is where you connect with your higher self. And this is typically where all of the parts of your brain that are involved in your uh, vital signs, all of those important functions, the midbrain is easily accessible back there. Those are all the places in which your higher self is allowing for connection, is supporting your existence. So this and this are being very heavily protected. You exist somewhere in the middle of that, right? That's where you're anchored, somewhere in the middle, like the high heart area, some of the throat area. And this is important for you to know because it's time for you to use your foundational understanding of yourself and your knowing of where your home, your true home is, in order to create the type of communication that's necessary to reach that next level of creation. You're going to succeed with this. You really, truly are. You really, truly are. But it's a matter of you being in alignment. It's a matter of you believing in this process, believing in yourself. Yeah. So this is telling me a lot. All of these cards are upside down. See, guidance in reverse. You're not listening to the guidance of your soul. Because typically what happens is what our soul is guiding us to do has a tendency to be the very thing we don't want to do. Hey, hear me out. Hear me out. I know I am not the only one that does that. Okay. So we typically don't want to do what our soul is guiding us to do because it's quite possibly the most challenging option in our perception, our minds. That's what we think, right? No, no, we struggle with allowing ourselves to see just how powerful and capable we are. We struggle with that so deeply, and that's what causes a lot of your sense of like being punished, a lot of your struggle, a lot of, the pain in that struggle. So you have to allow yourself to receive that guidance directly from your soul. Stop looking for videos. I'm saying what I'm saying. Stop looking for videos on social media to validate what you want to do over what your soul is requesting that you do. Mhm. That's what Michael's saying. I'm quoting him right now. Okay, a lot of us do this. A lot of us do this. And for those who are like, but Emmy, I don't know what my soul's telling me. You're not imagining the guidance you're receiving. You know that, right? You are not imagining the guidance that you are receiving. We're all receiving this guidance. And, you know, you need to allow yourself to receive that guidance. It can come in dreams. It can be some random portion of the lyrics from a song. You can feel the resonance of it when it happens. You probably will get goosebumps. For those who don't get goosebumps, you'll probably feel it somewhere in your body like, whoa, okay, you're not imagining that. Now, for many of us, we're feeling very insecure right now. We're feeling like, almost like we're being exposed to the elements and it's scary. It's something that's causing us to feel very not at home in ourselves, right? Hearth, homecoming. We're waiting for someone else to invite us to their home so that we can have their company and their protection and all of that stuff, their guidance. And, this is a period where the focus is being shifted back to you. for each of us. That doesn't mean you have to go this alone. That doesn't mean that you're not going to be supported. It means that the focus now is on you, so that you're not dismissing how much you're capable of doing. When we allow other people to help us too much, sometimes what ends up happening is we give that other person the credit that is rightfully for us, right? Sometimes you guys will be like, Emmy, you completely changed my life. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I shared space with you, and then you made the decision to do something with whatever it was that I said, whatever it was that you witnessed. You did something with that then led to the changes, but it was still you that did something with it, right? It's still you. So it's a matter of, yes, it's nice to be able to receive acknowledgement for um, being somehow involved in your journey, in your process. Is still your process. Yes, it's an honor for me, but it's still your process, your journey, your growth, your decisions, your energy that created the changes that are giving you a much more fulfilling life. And when you begin to do things kind of on your own, there's no one else that you can kind of some people will pass off the blame, while many of you will pass off the credit. Wrap your mind around that. You're probably the type of person that refuses to blame other people. If you do find fault in others, you probably will keep it very silent within yourself. You don't want to be mean, you don't want to be rude, right? So you keep it very silent within yourself. But then when it comes to giving other people credit, you're probably very quick to be like, "Oh my God, look what you did. Awesome. You're so amazing." But you refuse to do that for yourself. You refuse to acknowledge how much effort you've placed within yourself and your life and the type of beautiful effects it's had for you. Yeah, that has to change. That has to be allowed to shift so that you can begin to truly, genuinely see exactly how capable you are. You're very capable. You're very, very capable. You just don't realize it yet. Someone's like, "Oh, you're just being nice." I'm a nice person, but I'm not so nice that I'd lie to you. You could believe that. A new start is coming, but see, it's in reverse. So long as you continue to have that same type of mindset of like, when you hear someone speaking truth to you about your capacity, about what they pick up from you in regards to your potential, to your character, and you're gonna be like, "Oh, they're just being nice." Okay, well, I think you're being full of shit. Oh, is that your language? Do you need me to be rude? Like, no, stop. Stop. Because, see, I'm just like you. I did the same thing. Someone says something super profound about me and their experience with me. And in my head, I'm like, "Oh, you probably are just nice to everyone." Yeah, no, I do that. I do that. Less now, but I still do that. Yes. Yes, I do. When I catch myself doing that, I remind myself, "Hey, you're basically accusing them of lying to you. Is that okay, Emmy? Is that what you do? Is that the kind of person you are? You accuse people of lying because they're being nice?" "No, I don't. I don't think they're lying." "Okay, so then don't receive the kindness they are sharing with you as though it's a lie." I have to remind myself these things sometimes. Okay. It's okay for you to be in your process and take a while to get through your process. It's not okay to remain stuck in that process with zero challenge from you, where you're challenging your existing thoughts. That's the challenge you need. Because if you can't challenge yourself in that way and dive deeper into the truths that you live, then your soul will involve other people who have the capacity to challenge you in a much more disadvantageous way, in a way that's much more destructive for you. So if you don't want to be challenged by your soul, because a lot of us don't like to be tested by soul, then you need to begin holding yourself accountable by asking those questions, right? You have to hold yourself accountable for that. So I'm not as tested by soul these days. I still have tests, but not as much, not quite as intense. And those tests really are to help remind me, "Hey, have you checked yourself lately? right? Have I checked myself? Have I asked myself the questions I need to ask? And I think this is the perfect period for you to stop trying to start something new. I think this is a period for you to recognize you need to finish up what you already have present, right? For some of us, we're finishing it up completely and then we're going to be putting it away. For others of us, we're finishing it up so that we can move to the next part of what we're doing. An example of this, say you began the early stages of um, planning some type of business venture, right? You've been thinking of the different types of products or services you can sell. You've been thinking of the marketing, the branding, the demographic you're going to be using as a target demographic, um, all of these different platforms that you can use to go ahead and communicate this or that. And then that's where you stopped. You didn't put any other effort into anything else. Well, okay, finish that up. You got caught up in some type of emotion and that caused you to doubt yourself. Finish up that process so you can now move to the next part, which is either seeking out the contractors who can do the parts of your projects that you're not having the experience or the time to do, so that you can begin putting action behind the mental planning that you did in the first part that you're finishing right now. Right. So it's something that can really be applicable to your life, but you have to be honest with yourself about where you are. Now, if you're going to be like, no, I got this, I got this. Okay. Do you really? Do you really? There's plenty of amazing, there's plenty of amazing resources that can be utilized when you need specific types of services. Plenty of them. You can go to all these different websites where independent contractors are offering their services, on a contractual basis, like per project or whatever it is for X amount of time that you agree to, right? So this is not about starting something new. This is about allowing the development to continue or finishing off the very thing that you've been um, successfully wrapping up, right? Your commitment is being tested. Ooh. Your commitment is being tested. First quarter moon. So I don't know moon phases and stuff like that. I'm not even going to lie to you. I don't know moon phases. I'm not allowed to learn astrology or planetary alignment or houses. I know, it's so stupid. I could be so extra badass if I knew what any of those things mean. Trust me, I've tried. I've tried. I've tried. And my brain gets scrambled if I try to learn more. Okay, page 28. There it feels like there's a specific meaning to this. The answer to your question is yes, but not yet. You're halfway to your goal. You still need to put in a bit more effort. Sometimes we just need to realize how much we want something. You need to recommit to someone or something. Okay. Okay. That's what it is. That's what this card is telling us, right? This card is telling us basically a reiteration of all that I kind of fumbled saying for this card. So that's how soul communicates, right? That's how soul communicates. Soul be giving us all this information. We don't really always know what to do. Surrender to the divine, but it's in reverse. You are in control. You don't have to rebel against your soul in order to get to where you need to be. There's no rebellion against soul that will get you to where you need to be, because really your soul is not here to punish you. Your soul is encouraging the growth and the expansion of awareness, all of that. Let it do what it's doing. When you allow yourself to be more in agreement, more in compliance, when you allow yourself to be more in agreement and more in compliance, um, what ends up happening is you don't struggle as much. You don't suffer as much. Okay. Adjustments are required. There's nothing to adjust outside of you allowing yourself to fall deeper into alignment with what your soul is encouraging. There's nothing to adjust. Okay. You might not fully see the value of the direction your soul is sending you, but I promise you, your soul knows what it's doing. Marlene, stop. Don't let your past hold you back. Has to do with a South Node. I don't know. This feels super important as well. South Node is like karma and stuff, right? Let's see. Let's see. Marlene, you're going to need to stop. Okay? You're affecting my inner ear at this point. You're making my eyeballs wobble. And I'm about to bind you. Stop. This is Marlene's card. I'd say that this is Marlene's card, right? Let me read this. Additional meanings for this card. A relationship is karmic and has played out across many lifetimes. Your attraction to someone may be verging on the obsessive. Ahem. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. I'm saying. Okay. So on the horoscope chart, it shows us, the South Node shows us what we are likely to become obsessed with, but which will probably do us little or no good. It's a karmic astrological point that reminds us of the well-known phrase, if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. That's true. That's true. Give me 1 second. Un momento, por favor. Let me find it in this book. There was some information here. Let's see. Here. 148. Okay. It's a time of endings and beginnings. Understand that there's something about to close that's been held in place for a long time. So, as I was saying, hi everyone on Facebook. Could you please report this account? They're posting things with hearts and other stuff. Let me go ahead. Let me go to the post. Just so you're aware, even if you leave the live stream, your comment is still there, so I get to still report you before I ban you. Yeah. So first, let me go ahead and report it. Okay. I'm going to report every single one of your comments, okay? Do this one for spam. We'll do this one too. Let's go ahead. Okay. Keep going. Keep commenting. Let me go ahead. There we go. All right. Oh, thank you, highs and lows. Thank you, Serenity Vocalized. Now I'm going to go ahead and ban you. Merry Christmas. There we go. So With the South Node, it's like there's so much change that's going to occur, right? And it's this thing of recognizing you're in control of what's going to be changed and the way it's going to be changed. If you don't take control of this, what's going to end up happening is things will change. You'll feel very disempowered, and then you'll feel very disgruntled and very unsupported and very upset and very much like there's issues that don't need to exist, but blah, 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 blah. And, you know, no, right? This is you witnessing me, like what I just did with that comment. This is you witnessing me consciously cultivating my environment. This is you witnessing me enforcing boundaries, right? And it can be this thing of like, um, well, Emmy, there's enough for everyone. Yeah, there is. Absolutely. So start your own live stream and do it there. Do it there. Okay. And that's that. That's that. You have to allow yourself to have enough courage, first and foremost, to do what is necessary to be done for the changes that you want. What type of changes do you want? What type of changes do you need? What direction do you know within your heart you need to go? Because if you allow yourself to go in that direction, what ends up happening is you end up beginning to realize how supported your dreams have been this entire time, how supported you are, and have just never allowed it in. It's crazy, right? I look back at all these different situations where I thought I was alone in that, and I felt like no one would understand. And looking back now, having lived through the events that I've lived through, and looking back, I'm like, oh my God, so silly. Geez Louise, I was so supported. It was ridiculous. I was so supported by so many people. And I allowed myself to convince myself that no one could ever possibly understand. That's not true. It's not true. I promise you, no matter what you're going through, there are so many people in this world, if not millions, then billions of people who have gone through something very, very similar to what you are currently going through. They know exactly what it feels like. But here's the thing, there's so many people that feel so ashamed about their experiences that it depletes their amount of courage and that they're aware of. It depletes that courage and causes them to feel ashamed for their experiences. There's nothing that's happened to me in my life, and I've had some pretty bad things happen at certain points, that I would ever be ashamed of acknowledging. There's nothing, literally nothing, nothing. Why would I be ashamed of the very things that have formed me into the amazing person that I now am? Why would I need to be ashamed of that? The people who try and shame you are the very people who've probably been through something similar, and they're projecting onto the shame they feel about themselves. That's not for you to heal, honey. That's not for you to take ownership of, and try and heal. That's not your wound, nor did you inflict that wound. Now is a time to let those cycles go, so that you can move forward into much healthier cycles, cycles that will really encourage not just your growth, but your recognition of how much creation has authorized you to do for yourself. You have no idea yet how powerful you actually are. Not only do you have the power to change your life, you also have the power to influence another person to make positive changes for their life. We all have that power within us. We all have that authority. We all have that purpose. How many of us step up to the plate to harness that with intention, though? I'm inviting you to step up to the plate, harness that ability, that authority with intention. with a depth of grace that you show pretty much everyone else in your life, right? All right. So the energy is gaining momentum, but it came in reverse. It's like this thing of you were going down a hill on a bicycle and you haven't ridden a bicycle in a while. And so you got a little bit unsure of yourself. You forgot for a few seconds how to balance. I'm speaking from experience. And so you hit the brakes pretty hard and it slowed you down to a crawl. And then you got to the bottom of the hill and then you realized, oh man, I should have used all of that momentum because now I got to go up the next hill and I don't have gears and I can't do it. Well, there's a way to do it. You can go down and gain speed, quickly turn around and gain more speed and more speed and more speed and more speed and more speed, right? You can definitely do that, but you're going to have to put a lot of effort into getting the momentum, creating that momentum that had stalled because of your disbelief in yourself, because of that dark interference that caused you to really, really, really believe wholeheartedly that you're incapable. You're not incapable. You are not incapable. So this is a good one. Look at the bigger picture. So I think with the things that I'm kind of sharing regarding my thoughts and my perceptions, it's kind of encouraging those who need the encouragement to take a step back and zoom out a little bit and see what the bigger picture is. Sometimes you don't understand what you're doing until you take that step back and take a good look, right? Take a good look at things. Step out of your comfort zone, but it's in reverse. This is telling me a few things. First and foremost, you're not going to step out of your comfort zone. Okay. This is telling me that your comfort zone is quite possibly in the most uncomfortable space within yourself, right? And you're too afraid to step out of that because it's difficult. It's very challenging to find enough courage to believe in yourself. Okay, I get that. I totally get that. I get that. I can go through those types of cycles too. But now it's this thing of, okay, so if you're going to stay there, you're going to need to maximize what you can do there, right? It's like if it's hard for you to work out, but you keep working out, the way you maximize that is learning the proper mechanics, the proper form. And as you learn the proper form, taking the time to really allow the muscles that were imbalanced to grow so you can have more muscle balance. And as the muscles become balanced, because they're in, I think they're called antagonistic pairs, like the bicep and the tricep, right? Bicep, tricep. So the bicep, when it contracts, it pulls the hand closer to the shoulder, and the tricep will release. It's not going to contract. Now, if the bicep releases and the tricep contracts, it straightens out the arm, right? So it's kind of like that, where those pairs of muscles that are unbalanced, they're needing the time to really begin balancing. You can apply this to your personal journey by creating this analogy of one side is the feminine energy within you and the other side is the masculine energy within you, and allowing those things to be better balanced, right? So I found that for those of us who are female, the world has felt so unsafe that we've developed a spiritual muscle imbalance that causes us to express ourselves in a more masculine manner, which, I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing. I have very masculine energy, but if that's an indication that there's an imbalance, we're not here to focus on if masculine is positive or negative, good or bad. We're here to recognize there is an imbalance that needs to be corrected so I don't injure myself, right? So that's kind of what's needing to happen. Seeing where the imbalance is. Oh, it was also brought out in the cards. Hold on. Remember, balance was talked about, but in reverse, right? Creating imbalance for yourself in order to affect the trajectory of fulfillment, to put your springtime in reverse, to put it upside down. Like, no, don't let that. Ooh, it's time to take action. It's time to allow yourself to really, really step in a space of proactivity, right? You're actively choosing what type of cycles will be addressed. You are actively addressing them. You are actively, consciously choosing the ways in which you will be correcting imbalances. This is such a powerful period for you. You are literally in control. You are literally in control. Start using that with intention, with grace towards self, compassion towards self. We already know you're capable of compassion towards other people. That's a given. How about compassion towards yourself? Is that a given? Probably not. Probably not, right? Bring love into the situation, but it's in reverse. See what I'm saying? We got to love ourselves as fluidly as we love other people. We have to have a love language that we are fluent in. Be the words, the communication we use for ourselves, right? Oftentimes, we're using other people's love language to address ourselves. We're not even proficient in their love language. I mean, how are you going to communicate your needs, right? Okay. So, a lot of frustration. Gratitude in reverse. You're feeling like there's nothing to be grateful for right now. Everything's kind of like going upside down. There's a lot of struggle. Let's validate that for a second. A lot of people are having a lot of struggles. Whatever it is you're going through is not imagined. Okay. It's not imagined. It's not you being dramatic. I didn't realize I had my laptop placed like haphazardly on the thing. That could have fell. um like, just be honest with yourself for a moment. If you feel like you have nothing to be grateful for, it's okay. A lot of people are going through a lot of really difficult things. It's okay. You don't have to lie and pretend. You don't have to be grateful when everything seems to be falling apart. Like, you could have a very real human experience for a moment. It's okay. That doesn't make you a bad person. That makes you a real person. It's okay to be real. All right. It's okay if you feel as though all of your choices have been taken away from you, and becoming impatient with your process. It's okay. That's a normal reaction. You know what's not normal? Ooh, I want to show you guys a video. I don't know if I downloaded it. It was like, it hurt my heart. It just really like hurt my feelings watching it. Because it was this thing of like, oh my gosh, I can kind of relate. Okay, hold on. Let me see if it's even, if I can even save it. So I've never seen this person before. She's so adorable. She was so adorable. Here. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let me, I have allergies like a mofo. It's ridiculous. Let me send this to myself. And this kind of, I feel like many empaths treat ourselves like this. And it hurts my heart because it's like the world has taught us to be this way. It's not about blame. It's about recognizing the way the world functions, recognizing the ways in which our desire to fit in and conform so that we can be more acceptable has caused quite a bit blame. It's about has caused quite a bit of our struggle and suffering. All right. So all right. I'm going to share this. Wait, where am I? Okay, I was in the wrong window. Let me share this. All right, here it goes.
I've told the story before, but I always get people asking me how my brother died. So basically, they drowned. Like, okay, that's just the short version. Y'all be like, she's psycho for laughing. This is how I cope. Anyways, it's not like they died recently. They died a long time ago. But we just went to the lake, and my father was intoxicated and didn't know how to swim, and he wasn't watching over us, and he was with my stepmom spoken as you know what I'm saying? Anyways, that's horrible. I'm sorry. I have a horrible dark sense of humor. Anyways, they died, and I was the only one to survive. I watched them die because I was trying to save their life, and I failed.
Mm. 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 If that's not the perception of an empath in a nutshell, where you take ownership of someone else's responsibility and you blame yourself for not being able to save others. Mm. 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 The details of her pain are probably different than the details of our own. But the processing, the blaming, the self-blaming, the need to explain the ways in which you cope with your pain and the way you choose to cope so that it's not so inconvenient for other people. You know what I'm saying? And we use up our energy on so many patterns just like that. And she couldn't guarantee that she could regain control of that and prevent people from feeling her pain, that she lost her voice and she shut down. She shut the video down. She was no longer able to keep up that same story of don't worry, it's fine. And if you go in the comments of that video, she has a very huge following. I ended up going to her profile because I was like, who is this girl? Oh my gosh. And I think she had, I don't know her name. Hold on. Simply dot Kiki with 2 eyes at the end. And I went through the comments and I was just like, oh, ooh. Because everyone's like, are you okay? Um, and she just kept trying to reassure everyone, like, it's been so long, you guys, it's fine. I'm fine. It's totally, it's all good. I'm fine. You're not. Mm. It's okay to not be fine for a moment so that you can assess exactly where it is you're still bleeding from. Right. So I saw that last night and I was just like, oh, that's an empath story right there. That's absolutely an empath story. That's a lack of recognition of how strong you've been, right? Um, so, in a nutshell, that person's personal journey involved the witnessing of her siblings when I guess she was very young, drown, and she tried to save them because her father and stepmother took them to a lake and they weren't properly properly watching the children. Father didn't know how to swim, and they also were under the influence of whatever. And she was the only one that survived. You know, is that the responsibility of a child? And for her to at no point indicate that she feels it's anyone else's fault outside of her own. That's absolute empath behavior. That's what we do. We blame ourselves. We look for people to save and maybe justification. We use these people and their stories as justification to punish ourselves. You're in control here. You can establish healthier cycles. You can choose healthier ways to learn the lessons that need to be learned. I'm very grateful that I've entered into a space within my journey where I will allow myself to now see, precognitively see, the way certain decisions will impact my journey. It's not cheating, it's using my gifts wisely, allowing my discernment to take front and center stage. Inner Emmy, see how this plays out? What should we do? No longer am I volunteering to hurt myself by blaming myself for a failure that doesn't belong to me. I'm not willing to do that anymore. I'm willing to see the potentiality of people. What does that mean? For instance, there's a person, a new person to me, fairly new, and I kind of made a conscious decision to allow this individual to have the time, the space, and the access to me to show me their true intentions. I'm not committing to a friendship. I'm not committing to cutting them off either. I want to observe. I'm curious. What do you want? What is your end game? And I've seen a few things play out over the past few weeks, and I made a decision yesterday. I came to a conclusion. I don't want to be your friend. Why? Well, considering what I've silently observed, you got upset with this person, you betrayed them by giving this person information about that person. And then this person upset you, so you gave information about this person to that person. Now that person wants to fight with that person, and you're like, I'm stepping out of this. And so I'm like, I'm stepping all the fuck way back and completely the fuck out of this. I'm good. Thank you for showing me everything that I already felt, but didn't want to believe. I've made a decision, and that decision will stay. I don't want to be friends. I don't have hatred. I don't have negative emotions, but I see the pattern. No matter how nice you are to me, I've already seen what you're capable of, and it's only a matter of time before I upset you in the way that one of those two people upset you, because they didn't really do anything personal to you. You just didn't agree with something about them. And you got upset because you had an expectation of something. I don't know what your expectation of me is, but I'm feeling like I don't want to know. Because I don't want to be in situations where people have these unspoken expectations of me that I know nothing about. And if I fail in that expectation that I know nothing about, you're going to go ahead and create issues for me that didn't need to exist, but only exist because you are upset. I'm good. I'm sure you're a nice person, but I'm good. I'm very good off that. Okay. It's time for you to allow your gifts to awaken so that you can regain control of the way your lessons play out. Not control over other people, because at no point am I going to go to that individual and be like, hey, okay, so I've kind of been watching you for a while now, and I kind of feel like you wouldn't make a good friend because I've made a list. Do you want me to forward it to you? Yeah, at no point am I going to do that. Beginning yesterday, I made a decision to no longer be available. So, going back to this, I don't know if any of you are like this, but I definitely am. This is like my one fatal flaw in my eyes. Look at this picture. When people have the ability to pretend, to present themselves as some type of sign or communication from soul, and they present this information, right? It's not even low-hanging fruit. It's something that for some reason has become disconnected from the tree altogether. At some point before I arrived, this information fell off of the tree already. So we don't know if it's rotten fruit. We don't know if it's tainted. And this is what's being offered. What do apples often symbolize? Knowledge, information. Let me tell you, I told you guys before, I'm an absolute glutton for information, right? I'm not talking about information about other people. I'm talking about information on, uh, like policy procedure. I like to know what rules I can break. I like to know about that. I like to know about systems. I love to know about operating systems. I love to know different factoids and all sorts of different things. And it seems as though the most basic parts of you that can be exploited for entry into your life, that's what's going to be used during this period. You are in control. What does that mean? That means you need to figure out what those parts of you are and begin making sure you are hyper vigilant of those areas. And I know that that's how this person was trying to enter into my life and my circle. With the information, presenting me with information that I would covet. Now, like, tell me more. And now I'm like, bitch, it's okay. There's Google. There's DuckDuckGo. Um, I mean, if I really, really need to, I always could just go ahead and retain the appropriate legal counsel that specializes in that type of subject matter and get my information directly from legal counsel, be legally advised by the counsel, my legal counsel, about what I should and should not do for, compliance stuff. Could always just do that. So I'm good. I'm good. You have to be careful during this period of the people who kind of serve as the gatekeeper, right? They serve as a gatekeeper in that they will offer you access to certain things, but you must always only ever go through their gate. But see, I mean, have you ever seen those those lawns, those front yards where there is a gate on the walkway to walk up to the house, but there's no fence? Have you seen those? There's literally a gate that you can open and close and lock shut for the walkway to walk up to the house from the sidewalk. But there's literally no gate that stops you from going on the lawn to walk up to the house. There are people who are like that. They will have you so zoomed in that you can't see on either side of them. And you think the only way to get to what you need is through them. No, 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 no. There's no fence. There are people who will do that, It doesn't necessarily make them a bad person, but for me, that then tells me you're not a healthy person for me to be around. I'm sure you're a good person. Okay. I'm sure you are a good person. I'm sure you are extremely knowledgeable, but the integrity is lacking. So I'm good. Good. I've seen enough. Thank you. All right. So communication. There will be those who will continue to howl at the moon, right? And I mean, does the moon answer when they howl? No. So maybe one of the ways in which you can gain or regain control over yourself and your journey is to no longer expend any type of energy on the people who are the moon howlers. There will be those who will struggle to move forward from you. That's okay. You leave them where they're at, okay? They can go ahead and stretch on the floor where they are. Okay? Ooh, this right here. Just sit back, observe. Don't correct anyone. Just sit back, observe. And then this. I used to be one of those individuals that thought everyone had good intentions. I couldn't be any more wrong. Now I just observe a lot. Absolutely. You see, here's the thing. I think this is the lesson that we're all kind of haphazardly learning together. We have to stop agreeing to other people's terms based on our heart and our integrity. What does this mean? It means I learned a very important lesson. Just because I don't have it in my heart to do that doesn't mean they don't have it in theirs. Not everyone will be a reflection of your heart. Just because someone is a reflection of your ability to communicate in a very deep, profound manner does not mean that they are a reflection of your depth of integrity. It's okay. It's okay. It doesn't mean you're alone in the world. It doesn't mean that person is a bad person. What it does mean is this is misaligned and it will only hurt you. Maybe not right away, maybe not in the near future, but eventually it will hurt you deeply. So please be very, very, very full of discernment when it comes to these types of situations, okay? So the situation is fully focused on our earthly existence and places our divinity in a position of upside down. Okay. You have all the guidance that you need within yourself. Absolutely within yourself. I'm here to simply reiterate what your soul's already communicating. You're not getting guidance from me. You're here to see if what you're hearing and the way you're interpreting it from your soul, right, will be validated by something that I say. No, I don't know what your soul's telling you. Only you know. So, this is the reality of the proper positioning and understanding that we are very much connected to our soul and our soul sees clearly everything. And that the world we live in is a very convoluted creation. It's very upside down in nature, right? It's intentional. That's intentional. When you keep someone upside down for so long, when you write them back up, when you get them right side up, they're disoriented. Okay. So you're in the process of being put right side up. Okay. This is you, right? Upside down, and your soul is putting you right side up. And of course, you're disoriented. You're like, wait, what? That's not what I thought. It's okay. It's literally okay. You will absolutely, after you acclimate to the reality of the life you've co created, you'll begin to see the ways in which you can shift things. You're in control. At the end of the day, what you take away from this reading has to do with various degrees of expressing one single message that you are in control. That's the message. You are in control. You're in control. No, it's not someone else. The only way someone else can be in control of you in your life is if you've given that power to them. But here's the beautiful thing: if you can give the power to them, you can also withhold that power. You can retract that, right? You can rescind your agreement, that silent agreement to the very fraudulent terms that you were coerced into agreeing with, right? There you go. This. Hi, Lucy. She says, I'm pretty sure mine is telling me don't react. Just don't react. Stay level no matter what. So I had a very intense conversation with an individual yesterday. And that was the message that I got from it. That was the message. Don't react. Sometimes when you're facing something extremely demonic, extremely dark, extremely destructive, the most powerful thing you can do is withhold your energy by withholding your reaction. Don't react. Stay level. Someone was presenting something to me that immediately, as soon as I heard the request, and it's not a business request, it's not a client, it's someone that's been a part of my life for a very long time. And they called me, and it was a request that I just did not resonate with. At first, I didn't even think I like what? Wait, what did you say? Because I was in the car. And when it dawned on me what they were requesting, I was like, no, that's not me. I don't do that kind of stuff. I'm not going to do that kind of stuff. But I didn't say that. I was just like, what's going on? And they were telling me all of this stuff. And I was like, huh, okay. That was my reaction. And I think that there was a lot of dark interference that was occurring, and that person was being used to present an opportunity for me to enter into a space of reactivity, because the stuff that was going on was triggering to me. It's kind of very reminiscent of the stuff that I've personally been through. But I was just like, that's not how I conduct myself. They're not accusing me of doing something. They're telling me of what's happening to them because of someone else. And I was just like, that's yeah. Um, like I don't think you should react. I think that you should just cut access to you and keep going. Like, why waste your time, your energy? And then of course they got real upset that I was just like, oh, just block them. And of course they got real upset with me for that. I'm sure they felt like I didn't care, but it's like, no, I'm seeing clearly here that there is an attempt to ensnare me. Um, oh, it's here, right? It's in reverse, just like how I was telling you, the earth functions upside down. The trap is upside down because I've had the opportunity to acclimate right side up. I could see this for exactly what it is. It was a trap. It's a way to try and ensnare me because of my love for the individual, right? That's not for me to fix. That's not even something that needs to be fixed. That's something that needs to be acknowledged and access cut off. And that's it. That is it, right? You are in control. It doesn't mean you are in control of other people. It means you are in control of the way you react or respond, or are allowing yourself to get sucked into things that you are not to participate in. You're in control of that? Absolutely. In control of other people? Probably not. In control of a situation just because you're involved in it? Probably not. Because if there's other people involved, then yeah, no. You each have an equal level of authority to affect the outcome of that shared circumstance, that shared experience. You are in control strictly only over yourself. Okay? Not even over your children. Not even over your children. You can help to guide them. You can help to form their perception about the world, but you can't actually control them. You can't. You can't. That doesn't mean that I believe, if children misbehave, that you kind of just need to accept that. Like, no, my children know, like, there's certain types of behaviors, like, no, we don't tolerate disrespect. No. I don't care what mood you're in. You can communicate the mood you're in. You're not going to communicate it to me in a disrespectful way and intentionally be disrespectful to me. I don't think so. I don't think so. No. Nope. Okay. So there's going to be things to celebrate, but first you have to plant the seed and give it time to germinate, give it time to take root, give it time to grow. A lot of the things that you're growing, opportunities and all of that, are growing beneath the surface. And so you're not seeing the effects of it quite yet. You will. Okay. For those who don't feel like they need anything clarified, you're probably still in a state of self sabotage. And I'm not talking about me clarifying it for you. I'm talking about the ways in which your soul is trying to give you the clarity you need. If you think you know everything, okay. Okay. You see what I did there? I stayed in my lane. Okay. The lack of willingness to allow your awareness to expand and to allow that expanded awareness to assist you in recognizing where you are within your journey is a betrayal to the self. I mean, just don't fuck with me. I'll let you do whatever, It's you do your thing. You learn in the way you want to learn. No, it's not. I'm not trying to punish you. I'm not being sarcastic or anything like that. I respect your decision. The cycles are upside down though. But I mean, you don't need clarity. You already know this. Michael says, dickish. Card number 32, ancestral magic. Really allowing your magic to come from you, right? Allowing yourself to recognize how much control you are giving to other people over yourself, over your life. It's the very reason I don't like to try and control other people, because I will never let you control me. All right. We're bringing Kiki into this mix. Kiki, do you love me? Okay. Kiki is Kuan Yin. All right. I love the feeling of that. I'm going to pull a final card. We're going to talk in depth about a lot of different things over in the exclusive chat in about 10 minutes, okay? So as soon as this live stream is done, I'm going to be switching over to the exclusive chat area of the private ministry space on the soulsanctuary.love. If you'd like to be a part of that very profound conversation we're going to be having, and you're not already part of the soulsanctuary.love, our ministry, Soulwork Synergistics, you can definitely become part of the ministry officially, be a ministry member by setting up a recurring contribution online at the soulsanctuary.love. We have various tiers of support, and obviously you can cancel at any time. You can switch the level of contribution you want to do, and it charges you every month if you want to continue, and all of that goes towards supporting my nonprofit church. All right, let's get started with the final card. Ooh, Maka says, stay in my lane, sip my water, stay in my lane. I said my lane, not Marlene. I know you thought that shit was funny yesterday. Don't you ever have someone named Marlene call me again? That's not funny. That's not funny. It wasn't. It really wasn't funny. Anyways, drink from the Emerald Fountain. Are we being instructed to drink magical water? Are we being told to sip on the magic? I'm going to cover my ears because I don't want to hear nothing from nothing. Here goes. The divine feminine is encouraging of the awakening and empowerment of all living beings. When a sincere seeker is trying to find the way through, there is much help sent. It makes sense to be open to receive it, indeed, to step forward and drink from the emerald fountain, which is the unconditionally loving heart chakra of Kuan Yin. Allow yourself to be nourished by the power and love of the Divine Mother flowing to you now, right? There is nothing to be gained in making life more difficult than it needs to be, other than unnecessary stress or perhaps the learning that it isn't as much fun this way. At this time, you're going through a time of important spiritual growth. Your higher self has set a spiritual schedule and is planning on being at a certain destination in time and space to set events in motion. Wait, what? Hold on. Hold on. Your higher self has set a spiritual schedule and is planning on being at a certain destination in time and space to set events in motion. To benefit from synchronicities and to be able to live out its divine purpose in the physical world, too. The soul is very resourceful and is calling her to find help in getting to its destination on time. Woman, if you don't stop screaming in my ear, I swear to God, I'm going to shove a whole fucking pie in your pie hole. A starchy pie at that, and then give you water. Let that shit expand. When you allow yourself to be helped, great reserves of support become available to you. Your soul is strengthened and nourished by the loving heart of the Divine Mother. As it is filled with love from the Emerald Fountain, it can now flow through you, and you feel happier, more balanced, content, and peaceful. The more you allow yourself to be assisted, the more you will feel detached and trusting. You will find fewer problems actually arise for you, and when they do, you might be surprised just how swiftly they are resolved, sometimes with only a small amount of effort on your part. So, guys, with permission from your higher self, I'm going to go ahead and shield all of you. I've had it with her yelling in my ear. So I'm going to shield you guys because I'm going to be pushing her out temporarily. She needs time to herself. All right? So, breathe deep and slow. Shh. Stay in your boxes. Shh. All right, everyone's out of boxes. You guys feel good? And if those are some of you, I think, might be able to hear her, it's muffled sounds, just nothing bad's happening to her. She's just in a box. She can yell in there all she wants. I'll remove her from the box. I'm not joking. When I say I've had enough, I'm not joking. See, the beautiful thing about people with Asperger's is that we say what we mean and we mean what we say. That's just like you're not going to need to guess if this or that. Like, I say what I mean and I mean what I say. When I say stop, that means fucking stop. Right? That's what that means. So, anyways, the more you allow yourself to be assisted, the more you will feel detached and trusting. You will find fewer problems actually arise for you. Leave her in that box. I swear. If you take her out, we'll have a problem. You can take out the box when I'm done with the live stream. You'll find yourself having fewer problems actually arising for you. And when they do, you might be surprised just how swiftly they are resolved, sometimes with only a small amount of effort on your part. This is the benefit of allowing divine forces greater than us individually to nourish and support us. We allow the loving power much greater than our individual consciousness to do the heavy lifting, and our soul path unfolds more joyfully and more quickly. It's a doing without doing. You are at a point on your path where you need support to rise up and break through. You are invited to drink from the emerald fountain to accept the love pouring endlessly from the heart chakra of the Divine Mother, as it would greatly benefit you, even in ways that are not yet part of your conscious awareness. May your spiritual thirst be sated, and may you be supported and assisted by the Divine Mother. So, the support is being presented to you. And that support, if you are willing to receive it, is definitely something that can get you to the next part. That's what's being promised to you. Assistance on your journey to get you to the next part of whatever it is you're needing to learn, right? It's not about being it's not about finding a way to almost like biohack your process. Like you can't skip um, important experiences that will help to shape your perception. You can't skip that. There are certain events that you just have to experience because it's those very events and the way you receive them, the way you live through them, that will then shape, further refine your perception. Regardless, you are in control. You get to choose the minute details. Choose wisely. Choose the least struggle filled option. Okay. And if you're like me, who I have a tendency to not realize there are other options, much less struggle. Yeah, I don't know that. I only see one option every single time. Just know you're probably one of the ones who learn in the hardest way possible because it gives you a much more nuanced understanding of what it is you're actually learning. Everything's going to be fine. You are in control. Yes, you can take her out of the box. And it's about you really just owning your space. Like, I'm not angry at Marlene. She just needs to stop screaming at me, right? Like, it is not my job to do what you are demanding I do. Hey, your boy is an adult. Okay. Y'all, if people need help, they have the capacity and the ability to reach out if they need. Okay. Like, all my information is out there. My different email addresses from all my different companies that I'm running. There are so many different platforms where I can be reached out to. Like, as empaths, we need to allow ourselves to recognize when we are being encouraged to step out of our proper place, right? It's not for a lack of wanting to help. It's for us to know what is appropriate and what is crossing boundaries. And that is how you remain in control of your journey, okay? By ensuring that you have an understanding of where the boundaries are. See, John, I did see your comment earlier. I'm sorry, I didn't get to put that up last night. I'll definitely be putting it up today. I have to get going, guys. I have to get over to my private ministry area. If you would like to participate and also show support for my church, go to, oops, let me type this right. Go to this link right here. Oops. www.thesoulsanctuary.love, and you can go ahead and sign up there. It's okay if you can only contribute this one time. That will still give you access for an entire month. Just make sure that you go ahead and cancel that before the next cycle starts. You could always restart it again when things kind of level out for you if you're having a little bit of a hardship. We definitely are about supporting our community as well and being understanding. We know everyone's going through some stuff right now, and we know that there's certain limitations that people might need to be working within for the holidays. So we completely understand that. And, we hope everyone is doing well, and that during what's traditionally a season of celebration, that whoever is struggling with this time of the year, that especially if you're here with us, you are part of a community, you matter, you are not alone, and that, this season will pass and we'll still have each other. Okay. So guys, please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe, turn on that notification bell. Join me when I'm live. I will be live for sure tomorrow, 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, to do the 1221 portal expedites. Has a lot to do with twin stuff, has a lot to do with abundance stuff, correction stuff, all of that, shielding stuff, all of that. I hope you guys join me for that tomorrow. Here is the link. meevolving.com/shop/1221 portal. I hope you guys can join me. I will see you again very soon. For all of my ministry members, I'll see you guys in our private chat area. Bye, everyone.